A lot of businesses come to us because they want to use AI to help them find out where their leads are coming from, get better visibility of their opportunities, and help their team with follow-up actions. Realistically, they should be using dashboards, reports, and fields within their CRMs to fix these issues.
So, of course, when businesses are actually wanting to discuss the element of AI, what's kind of the first things that you're really seeing about that?
Well, I think they're usually just jumping to AI to solve a problem, rather than actually looking at, rather than thinking about, right, we've got a problem, let's go out there and try and fix it. They're just going, right, I think AI is going to solve all of our problems. When realistically, their problem is that they want to do less admin. They want to spend, or they want their teams to spend less time filling in forms, summarizing meetings, sending emails, things like that. And they just jump straight to AI because they think it's going to solve all issues.
Yeah. I think the problem with that as well is a lot of businesses that we're seeing currently is, people are jumping to that AI without understanding the fundamentals of their business and the practice first, because so many people have got, well, not everyone's got perfect data, but the fact that to get a good response out of AI, your data needs to be in some form of sufficient point to actually give you, benefit results.
Yeah, and I think the key is there. There's always going to be more you can do to make your data better, make the data cleaner, make it more visible. But that does have to be done first before you implement AI.
Yeah.
And also, by cleaning that data and making it more visible, you're probably solving a lot of the issues that you're jumping to AI to fix anyway. So a lot of people, I see a lot of people trying to use AI when they should just be using something like a simple dashboard. And AI, really, they should be using it for much simpler things first, and building from the ground up.
Yeah, because I think even though AI can be a benefit in terms of time and sometimes in cost, you also got to think of the additional costs from things like token usage, where you're discussing like the initial follow-up tasks options, the dashboards. If we're doing those for regular updates, it reduces the amount of tokens you're having to use in a month, which makes life a lot easier for the directors or whoever is actually managing the standard spend. Which I think, is one of those things that most people don't really think of initially. They just think of AI as that buzzword and they just want to jump straight into it. I think one of the other things that most people don't kind of think of at the start is, yes, we want AI, but what do we want AI to assist with first? Ultimately, if people are using a CRM system properly, it's across sales, marketing, service, customer success, everything. But we probably want to be focusing on what are the core areas to develop first, because if you're going to chuck AI at the whole business from the get-go, you're going to struggle the same way as implementing a CRM system to the first time. We kind of need to take it as a phased approach.
I think it's crucial to get that, but before you're implementing the AI, that data cleaning and your data governance really needs to be on point.
Yeah.
Not only from an efficiency point of view when it comes to token usage, but then also from your security point of view.
Yeah. The problem with a lot of different AI platforms at the moment is it's a struggle to see what your standard count is over a month, over a year, whatever. Whereas if you can either set that up from the get-go to plan that out, it makes everyone's lives a lot easier. Of course, the difficulty with so many different tools out there as well is each kind of work in their own different element. Yes, you can take on AI solutions which are already built into CRM platforms, which of course offer a lot more benefit because they're embedded into that tool. But having that flexibility to add in your own LLM tools, I think, gives that more flexibility for those clients. And sometimes offers a little bit more than what kind of those out-of-the-box AI tools and those platforms can actually offer.
What do you think is the best use case you've seen people start with when they want to start using AI within their CRM?
I think the one that can offer the quickest results is mainly being customer service, because one of those things is you're going to be getting if you're using your system properly and you're logging your interactions properly, you've got a really good kind of backload of customer service cases, and there'll be similarities within those cases that not everyone's going to remember. Or if a new service representative comes in and they're not sure how to get to that next step, using an AI tool to say, this is the case that's come in. Have we dealt with this before, and what's been the resolution that we've put forward? It saves a lot of time, especially if you've got those SLAs in place for your clients. You want to make sure that you're keeping within those to keep your customers happy and kind of keep within the quotas.
I guess if you've got that in there, it's really handy for them. An account manager, if they're going for an account review, they can get a quick summary of recent cases that have come in.
Yeah.
And then if they're going in to speak to the board, for example, they can go in with their eyes open as to what's actually been happening in that relationship that they may not have seen if they didn't have that in there.
Yeah, and I think with that as well, where we jumped on the point of having the option of tasks and dashboards to reduce the amount of tasks that you need to use with AI, having a kind of a quick overview of an account as you go in, saying you're entering Joe Blogg's account, and I've got some quick dashboards to show me how many cases has this client had in the last 60 days or 90 days. So when you're doing those account reviews, you're not having to jump around the platform. You can use AI to give you more of an in-depth analysis. If you're needing something high level, dashboards will probably be something that makes life a lot easier as well.
So what questions have you seen people asking AI that they could have solved through just having better CRM?
Realistically, there are some which are people just jumping in there with, if you had the right setups, would make life a lot easier. So it could just be the case of how many leads have we had in the last 90 days within this territory or under this this service. So let's say I want to focus on the construction sector. Let's look at how many leads are coming in the construction sector. AI could give you that info. But if you've already set up your leads, your opportunities process efficiently through your dashboards or your quick filters, those are things you can still get fairly quickly. And it's going back to the point of you don't always have to use AI, or you're overspending on tokens where you don't really need to. There's that point, if you're looking at your sales journey across the board, you're always going to have your whatever your leads or your opportunities process is. Of course, it's going to be dependent on the company. You should always have reports in the background to see, even more from a forecasting point, how many clients are still at a proposal stage. Well, realistically, if you've got quite a few at proposal stage that have been there for a little while, then you could already have those processes in the background to remind you of setting up tasks, instead of just chucking AI at it to kind of do your job for you. I think the problem with some areas of using AI is people are using AI to kind of take over their role when it should be more assisting. Because you were doing all this stuff anyway, or you should have been doing all this stuff anyway before AI. Just because it's come in shouldn't mean that you take a step back. Because ultimately, if a business is seeing the case that this whole role is being done by AI and you're not doing too much of the work, do you really want to kind of be saying that, am I replaceable? Ultimately, AI is not here to replace people, it's here to assist people. And I think there should be a fine line of how you use AI to improve upon your job instead of it taking over your job.
You've kind of touched on quite a key thing that business leaders need to consider there when implementing AI within their business, as it is going to be quite a touchy subject for employees, because your team may be thinking they're bringing in they're bringing in AI and the end goal is to replace us, when really that's not the way that business leaders, in most cases that I've seen, are looking at it or should be looking at it. The reality of it is, like you say, it needs to be implemented to assist your team, become more efficient, take away the tasks that really is not their expertise, isn't filling in different parts of forms, etc. Or reading through endless notes in a CRM. The AI is there to summarize that for them, so that they have time doing what they're actually good at, interacting with customers, fulfilling the projects that they've got to fulfill, solving these customer service cases.
Yeah, and I think with one of the main factors in that is kind of with all CRM platforms, a lot of the areas that you always heard was kind of your buzzwords, which was your kind of your ROIs, your customer experience, but a lot of the factors that go amiss is your employee experience.
Yeah.
So if we looked at the employee experience when implementing AI, I think AI predominantly has always been seen as a director level conversation. The directors have come to a decision, AI is coming in, it's in the next day. Whereas if a sales director is sitting down with their team and saying, we are looking to implement AI as a business, let's discuss the pain points and where we're struggling within our platform. So then you're getting everybody on board. They're more inclined to be using it efficiently, because ultimately, if they're using it efficiently, they're happy with that. It's automatically going to keep the employees happy, and that will resonate back to your clients as well.
Yeah, I think there you touch on a really good point that when we're looking to scope out projects, it really is important that we get the entire team's buy-in at that point. If we don't, we can do the best job in the world. We can give you an unbelievable CRM that ticks every single box. But if your team hasn't bought into that, then ultimately they're not going to use it. No. They're not going to use it properly there. And then it's a domino effect. It affects the entire thing.
Yeah.
Essentially, there's no point.
No, exactly. And we've seen deals break down at the last minute because of that, not having that buy-in. And ultimately that's going to be a frustration from the business owner's side. Is that any decision that needs to be done? Yes, it's you are overseeing the business, or it's even your own business, but your business is also built upon your employees, so we need to be figuring out those next steps and how to improve your system through CRM, through AI. That also enhances kind of that employee experience as well. We've had some use cases kind of over time where people have tried to bring AI into the business before they've had that proper CRM conversation. And ultimately, you've got those issues of kind of, if you've already got bad data within your processes and AI is trying to sit on top of that, it's giving you inaccurate results. It could be results from pipeline. If you're not keeping your pipeline clean and you're asking AI to do a forecast report, you might be looking a lot better than you're actually expecting, or vice versa. It could also be the case of if your customer success team aren't keeping up with their accounts, you might be thinking from an AI side that all of your accounts are ultimately positive. But if people aren't updating their records or their cases properly, then you've actually got more of a negative experience with your clients as well. I mean, from your side, have you kind of experienced anything like that as well?
Yeah, I think one of the real challenges that I've seen for people that have implemented AI before their system is ready is just the cost of it. They're spending a hell of a lot of money on credits and tokens when they could just be using simple fields and simple dashboards to get that data that they need. So realistically, they're just throwing AI at a problem that AI can't fix. Yeah. Or it's inefficient for AI to fix. It's much, much more efficient to build a simple dashboard or add a few fields.
Yeah, and I think it's the element where people have brought CRM into place before looking at their fundamentals of CRM. It's that guidance of AI, because some people will just see, your Chat GPTs or your Claudes or whatever, and just think, I know how to work this, and then just crack on with their business. Whereas without that correct guidance, then a lot of things can go awry. Giving AI access into very kind of confidential documents or processes can, well, realistically be quite catastrophic to a business.
So before implementing AI into CRM, what should clients be asking themselves?
Probably, I think there's 6 key questions that people should be asking. I think those 6 key questions would be: what decisions do we need the CRM to help us make? What information needs to be captured consistently? Where does our current data have problems? Which questions should be answered by dashboards, fields, or reports? Which workflows need to exist before AI can support them? And what behaviour do we need from users for the system to stay useful? I think realistically, what we've been discussing today, it's just showing kind of the importance of having those right processes in place, understanding the fundamentals of what you need to implement a solution, and kind of how AI can assist in your processes, not completely take over it.
I think it's key for clients to actually figure out what problem they want AI to solve, and not just using AI as something to make them feel like they're keeping up pace with the rest of the market and their competitors. They actually need to think around the problem that they're trying to solve. Have they got the data for AI to solve that problem? And actually, do they need AI to solve that problem? Can simple dashboards, fields, etc. within the CRM fix it for them?
If you're exploring AI in your CRM, don't start with the tool. Start by checking whether your CRM's ready. We can help you review the foundations and identify what needs fixing first. Get in touch with Collier Pickard to arrange a CRM AI readiness check.